Hello friends, again with Ruchi Jain. So, how are you? We get is Ihnen. Perhaps very good. Okay, so today we are going to learn modal verbs in German language. Modal verbs which are KÖNNEN, SOLLEN, WOLLEN, etc. So, are you ready to learn this new interesting topic with me? Let's go ahead.
Before going further, let's first understand what is a modal verb. In English, we call it modal verb. In German, we call it Modal Verb. And the article for this word is das Modal Verb. In very simple words, I have explained it here. Modal verb basically expresses the mood. Very important word here is the mood. Modal verb basically expresses the mood of the action, whether it is possible or allowed or necessary. And whenever we use the modal verb in a sentence, there will always be another verb in the sentence, which you may call full verb. Let's see how many types of modal verbs are there in German language. Modal verb, KÖNNEN, SOLLEN, DÜRFEN, WOLLEN, MÜSSEN, MÖCHTEN or MÖGEN. KÖNNEN, can, dürfen, allowed to, sollen, shall, should, müssen, must, wollen, want to. And this last one, möchten, mögen. Mögen is to like. And this möchten, this form has come, in fact, it is the subjunctive form of mögen that we quite frequently nowadays use as in present tense. It means actually would like to. I hope this one is clear. Let's see a detailed explanation of these verbs and how we use these verbs in a sentence.
So, first of all, let's understand the first modal verb or modal verb, können, which means in English can. It represents possibility or capability. Possibility in German we call it Möglichkeit. Capability we call it Fähigkeit in German language. So, these two moods are expressed by the verb können, which is a modal verb. Now, how to conjugate the verb können? Ich kann, du kannst, sie es kann, wir können, ihr könnt, sie können. So, according to these personal pronouns which we have learned long back, we have to conjugate the modal verb. Now, you can see here the first person singular form and the third person singular forms are similar. These forms are similar in all the modal verbs. So, ich kann, du kannst, sie es kann, wir können, ihr könnt und sie können. That is how we conjugate the verb können. Let's go ahead. The next verb is müssen. Müssen, in English we call it must. So, it represents necessity or duty. Necessity, which we call in German language Notwendigkeit. Notwendigkeit. Duty, that is Pflicht. Pflicht. So, these two moods are represented by the verb müssen. Now, let's see how to conjugate the verb müssen. Ich muss, du musst, sie es muss, wir müssen, ihr müsst, sie müssen. Now you can see again the first person singular form and the third person singular forms are similar. So it's easy to remember. That is how we conjugate the verb müssen. Let's go ahead. Next verb is wollen, which means want to. Wollen, want to. It represents preparedness or intention or will. So there are three moods we can see here when we use the verb wollen. Preparedness, intention, will. In German we call preparedness Bereitschaft. Intention Absicht. Absicht and will Wille. That is how we pronounce in German these three moods. Let's go ahead. Now, how to conjugate the verb wollen, which means want to. Ich will, du willst, sie es will, wir wollen, ihr wollt, sie wollen. So, that is how we conjugate the verb wollen. Ich will, du willst, sie es will, wir wollen, ihr wollt, sie wollen. Quite simple. Let's go ahead. Our next verb is sollen. Sollen, which means in English should. It represents recommendation or suggestion. Recommendation or suggestion. So, in German we call that Empfehlung or Vorschlag. Empfehlung, Vorschlag. These two moods are represented by the verb sollen. Now, how to conjugate the verb sollen, which means should. Ich soll, du sollst, sie es soll, wir sollen, ihr sollt, sie sollen. Again, the first person singular form and the third person singular form are similar. They are conjugated likewise. Ich soll, du sollst, sie es soll, wir sollen, ihr sollt, sie sollen. Next verb is dürfen, which means in English allowed to. It represents permission or approval. It represents permission or approval. In German we call these two things Erlaubnis or Zustimmung. Zustimmung. So when these two modes are there, we have to use dürfen. How to conjugate the verb dürfen, allowed to? Ich darf, du darfst, sie es darf, wir dürfen, ihr dürft, sie dürfen. That is how we conjugate the verb dürfen. Once again with me. Ich darf, du darfst, sie es darf, wir dürfen, ihr dürft, sie dürfen. So that is how we conjugate. Now let's go ahead.
Our next verb is MÖCHTEN. In English, it is would like to. In very simple words, it represents wish or desire. In German, wish is Wunsch and desire is Lust. So in a sentence where you want to express Wunsch or Lust, that is wish or desire, then you need to use verb MÖCHTEN. It is the subjunctive form of the verb MÖGEN that we already know.
Now, how to conjugate the verb MÖCHTEN? Ich möchte, du möchtest, sie es möchte. Again the same form like ich und sie es. Wir möchten, ihr möchtet, sie möchten. Once again, along with me. Ich möchte, du möchtest, sie es möchte, wir möchten, ihr möchtet, sie möchten. That is how we conjugate the verb möchten. Let's go ahead. MÖGEN. Now, how to conjugate the verb MÖGEN? Actual modal verb, which means in English to like. Ich mag, du magst, sie es mag, wir mögen, ihr mögt, sie mögen. Once again, along with me. Ich mag, du magst, sie es mag, Wir mögen, ihr mögt, sie mögen. That is how we will conjugate the verb mögen, which is the present tense of the verb MÖCHTEN. Let's go ahead. Now, how to use these verbs in a sentence? That means structure of the sentence using modal verb or modal verb. Now, we have a subject always in a sentence. So, first keep the subject at the first position. Subject plus second position will be modal verb. Modal verb in conjugated form. Do remember that. Modal verb in conjugated form. Then comes object or any extra information. And at the end of the sentence, you have to write the main verb or Hauptverb in infinitive form. Do not forget it. You don't need to conjugate the main verb. You just need to conjugate the modal verb. Okay, fine. So let's see some of the examples so that we can understand this structure of the sentence. First one I take with the verb mögen. I like chocolates. I like chocolates. Very simple sentence. How to translate it in German? Ich mag Schokoladen. Ich mag Schokoladen. Now you must be thinking why we haven't used any verb, main verb here. So it is up to you. It is understood. You can write Ich mag Schokoladen essen. But you don't need that verb here. That is why we have written Ich mag Schokoladen. It means you like to eat chocolates. Let's see one more example. Do you like to eat pizza? Do you like to eat pizza? It's a question. So we have to take the modal verb, which is at the second position. We have to take it to the first position. Magst du Pizza essen? Magst du Pizza essen? Do you like to eat pizza? Magst du Pizza essen? You can also write magst du Pizza, which means magst du Pizza essen. You like to eat pizza or you like pizza. Both are the same sentences. So what we have done, we have taken the modal verb at the first position because it's a question. Then comes subject, then the object, and at the end of the sentence, you have to put the main verb. Let's go ahead. Now, let's see some of the examples of the verb KÖNNEN, which means can. Rohit can speak fluent German. That's the sentence. Now, how to translate it? Rohit kann fließend Deutsch sprechen. It is following the complete rule of the structure, sentence structure. Rohit, subject, kann, that is the conjugated form of the modal verb. And then comes the extra information or the object. And at the end of the sentence, sprechen, that is the main verb. So, Rohit kann fließend Deutsch sprechen. Let's take one more example. Can you help me please? It's a question. Can you help me please? Können Sie bitte mir helfen? Können Sie bitte mir helfen? Here können, again the modal verb in the conjugated form. It is at the first position. Why? Because it's a question. That's it. And the main verb is at the end of the sentence, helfen. Let's go. Now, let's see some of the examples using the verb MÜSSEN. The first example is, he must improve his German. That's a simple sentence. He must improve his German. Muss seine Deutschsprache verbessern. Muss seine Deutschsprache verbessern. Verbessern, that's the main verb in the infinitive form. And muss, that's the modal verb, conjugated form. Let's take one more example. You must work today evening. Du musst heute Abend arbeiten. Du musst heute Abend arbeiten. Again, you can see musst, that is conjugated form of modal verb, and arbeiten, that is the main verb in infinitive form. Let's go ahead. Next verb is sollen, should. The example is, you should drink plenty of water every day. That's the sentence, simple sentence. Du sollst jeden Tag genügend Wasser trinken. Du sollst jeden Tag genügend Wasser trinken. Again, sollen, verb, conjugated form, sollst, according to the personal pronoun du, and the Hauptverb or the main verb in the infinitive form at the end of the sentence, trinken. and rest of the information in between. Let's take one more example. What should I do now? Very simple sentence. What should I do now? It's a question. So, was soll ich jetzt machen? Was soll ich jetzt machen? Wie Frage. You remember that whenever there is a WH question, you have to keep the verb at the second position because you have to use the verb WH word. Was soll ich jetzt machen? That is how we form this sentence. Soll again conjugated according to the personal pronoun ich, and the main verb machen at the end of the sentence in infinitive form. That is how we will translate it. Now, next verb is wollen, want to. Let's take first example. I want to learn German today. I want to learn German today. How will translate it? Ich will heute Deutsch lernen. Ich will heute Deutsch lernen. Will, that is we have conjugated first person singular number, and lernen, that is the main verb at the end of the sentence in infinitive form. Let's take one more example. Why you want to go to Germany? Why you want to go to Germany? Warum willst du nach Deutschland fahren? Warum willst du nach Deutschland fahren? Willst, we have conjugated it according to the pronoun du, and fahren, that is the main verb in infinitive form. So that is how we will frame the sentence question. Warum willst du nach Deutschland fahren? Let's take the next verb, dürfen, which means allowed to. The first example here is, are you allowed to smoke here? It's a question. So definitely we have to, it's a ja, nein Frage, yes, no question. So we have to start the sentence or the question using the modal verb. Dürfen Sie hier rauchen? Now, even though it's a question, but it's a yes, no question. That is why we have to take the verb from the second position to the first position. Dürfen Sie hier rauchen? Main verb rauchen at the end of the sentence in conjugated form. Let's take the other example. Why are you not allowed to go out? Again, it's a question. Why are you not allowed to go out? Warum darfst du nicht ausgehen? Warum darfst du nicht ausgehen? Ausgehen is it's a trennbares verb, but here we have to take it as it is in infinitive form at the end of the sentence, and we will conjugate the verb dürfen, which is according to the du. Darfst, that is why we have taken darfst, du form. Warum darfst du nicht ausgehen? To go out. Let's go ahead. Next verb is MÖCHTEN, would like to. Would you like to have some coffee? Very simple sentence. Would you like to have some coffee? Möchten Sie Kaffee trinken? Möchten Sie Kaffee trinken? Or you can say Möchten Sie Kaffee haben? But it means to have or to drink. We can say both the ways. So Möchten Sie Kaffee trinken? Möchten, again yes or no question. That is why we have taken the modal verb at the first position, and we have conjugated it according to the personal pronoun, and the main verb trinken is at the last position. Let's take one more example. I would like to have a big house in countryside. Ich möchte ein großes Haus auf dem Land haben. Ich möchte ein großes Haus auf dem Land haben. Now, the verb haben, we can write this simple sentence without having haben as well, but it is understood. But here, for your understanding, we have to write it. I would like to have a big house in country house. Ich möchte ein großes Haus auf dem Land haben. Haben again, the main verb in infinitive form, möchte. We have conjugated it, this modal verb, according to the pronoun ich, subject. Thank you very much. Vielen Dank. I hope you have understood this modal verb topic. If you have any questions, any queries, please do write in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do consider to subscribe it and ring the bell. Do share my YouTube channel with your friends who want to learn German. Thank you very much once again. Tschüss.